Hello guys, welcome to Movie Mind YouTube channel. Today, in this video, I am going to explain to you the full story of the Bad Seed movie. Let's take a look at the story of this movie without further delay. Beginning with Emma, a person is introduced in the film, who was looking out the window of her room at a cat, which is submersion in water. She doesn't show any emotion at all. She didn't actually feel bad for drowning the cat. She doesn't even consider going to save this cat. She formerly shared a home with her father, it becomes apparent after this. Additionally, she converses while eating breakfast. Her aunt is on her way to her residence in the meantime. Whoever discusses Emma's new babysitter. Emma's initial carer had actually experienced an accident. Nobody was aware of how she handled the accident. Emma's aunt is currently looking for a new carer for her. Emma tells them about the deceased cat as they are conversing. The deceased cat was being removed from the pond by Emma's father, it was discovered later. It is evident that Emma's visage was not at all devoid of sorrow. If she hadn't saved the life of this cat, that animal may still be alive. We observe her father interviewing her for a new carer. She is hired after he notices her manners. Emma had submitted a citizenship application. She was aiming for this medal. She appears to be acting perfectly towards every student at her school. She is engaging in play with several of the children when a girl attacks her. Emma backs that young lady. She can be spotted practicing her smile at home as well. Award day was the next day. Her father forces her to put on a pretty outfit. He then takes her to the school where many parents had come to see the awards. Here, the teacher declares that Milo has won the citizenship medal. She informed her father that Milo had won the medal. She wasn't deserving of this award. She degrades Milo. She also urges her father to accept responsibility for her actions. She brings Milo up to the cliff. After some time, Milo adds that, "We ought to go back home." Emma approaches Milo. Later, something blank comes on the scene. Milo's parents are seen visiting Emma after a while. "Have you seen our son Milo anywhere?" they ask. She answers, "He hasn't been around for a while." Then, other girls who were approaching from the direction of the cliff shouted for assistance. The girls are pursued by Milo's parents as well, and as they approach, they watch. Their son had drowned and perished. Despite receiving CPR from a teammate, he passed away. Next day, Emma's father asks her while taking breakfast, how does she feel about her friend's passing? But she completely ignores this because she did not have any sorrow at her friend's passing. Emma's carer also visits the house that day. At night, Emma notices that her carer was handling her father's medication, as she considers stealing them. When her carer joined her to watch a movie, she says, "I saw you trying to take my father's prescription medication." Then she commands, "You must do as I command you. I won't say a thing to my father about this." Caretaker becomes enraged over this. She still agrees with Emma in spite of everything. Everyone cried during Milo's funeral service the following day. Then Emma is also spotted sobbing in front of Milo's parents. She was acting as though she was completely devastated by the loss of their son. When Milo's parents speak with Emma's father, they inform him that Milo's medal is also missing. Hearing this, Emma's father had become concerned. He finds Milo's medal in Emma's room when he goes to get the dresses for the washer. Then he started doubting Emma. He witnesses some photos there, in which Emma was staring at Milo. His suspicions for his daughter had grown. The following day, Emma's teacher and an investigator visit Emma's home. After she arrives, she tells her father that other youngsters saw Emma with Milo on the cliff before she died. At night, Emma's father looks into Emma. "Had Milo taken you to the cliff?" She states clearly, "I did not visit." On this, Emma's father informs her, "Some people had seen you with Milo on the cliff." She loses her cool over this and claims that Mrs. Ellis told her to tell you this. "She also doesn't like me." Next day, the same caretaker is seen who goes to Emma's workplace. And she asks permission to smoke there. Emma's father says to her, she cannot smoke here, because there have been many chemicals placed there. When the same caretaker goes outside with Emma later, so they may play, then they notice that there is a parked car of Mrs. Ellis out of the house. Caretaker tells Emma that a case has been hired against her. It is being said that at the death time of Milo, then you were also with her. Then caretaker leads Emma into the house. She also tries to scare her by saying, "If you did this, the electric chair used by criminals will hold you." Emma is extremely terrified by this. Despite this, she refuses to take it since she feels guilty about what she did. The following day, the housekeeper who had been looking all over for Emma is seen. On Emma's home's roof, a wasp nest is visible in the meantime. Emma's teacher was on her way home while driving. She is then startled by a wasp. Then a nest of wasps is discovered at the back of her vehicle, which Emma had put in her vehicle. She had intended for her teacher to accidentally meet her demise in some way. The person in charge of Emma also sees that medal, which Milo was the owner of. She takes this and hangs the medal on the lamp in Emma's father's room, so that Emma might be discovered. Emma enters her father's room and that medal is instantly tucked behind her. When Emma's father sees this, then he motions for Emma to join him. He then says, "My daughter, where did you receive this medal, exactly?" Emma makes up the claim that Milo gave her this award personally. The following day, as Emma's father is driving to work, he makes a call to the therapist, considering that he intended to treat her daughter psychiatrically. Then he notices that someone had an accident on the way. You can see Emma on the opposite side, asking her carer, "You had hung this medal on the lamp." She was also in a hostile temper. After that, Emma's father had arrived. He also asks Emma to go with him. "Take your medal that you stole from Milo," he orders. After that, he takes her to Milo's home. This award is given back to Milo's mother by Emma, who was acting quite bewildered while taking this medal. At the same time, she informs Emma's father. Mrs. Ellis perished in a vehicle crash. When Emma learns of this information, she makes a fake cry. She also claims to have been her best teacher, as she and her father made their way back home. Then she completely forgets about her teacher's passing. She was telling her father that after she moved into her own home, she would bake the biscuits with her carer. Her behavior has startled and alarmed her father. The following day, Emma's father, who had been employed there, is spotted. His room was no longer home to the wasp nest that had been there previously. He now believed his daughter was responsible for Mrs. Ellis's death. Then the mental health professional who initially met Emma is seen. The psychiatrist then informs Emma's father that their daughter is a typical young child. Additionally, Emma had lured the psychiatrist into her chat. Chloe, Emma's carer, tells Emma to go there. "Because your father likes me, I can also be your stepmother." Emma becomes enraged by this and goes to her father and asks, "That Chloe is saying to me as she wants to be my stepmother. How about her?" His father walks away without saying anything about it. When Chloe was watching TV at night, it was then visible. Then a noise comes from an outbuilding. In search of Emma, she leaves the house. She then notices a shadow and immediately moves to the outbuilding. The outbuilding's door is then locked by someone. She was trapped in the outbuilding, which is then discovered to be on fire. Where Emma was standing, Chloe peers in through the window. And Emma was the one who started the fire in this outbuilding. To murder Chloe, then Chloe, who perishes in fire, is revealed. Emma's father calls the firemen as soon as he learns about this. They arrive and put out the flames. But at that point, Chloe had passed away. Following that, Emma's father enters her room. And as he arrives there, he asks her, "Have you admitted to killing Milo?" "My daughter," he declares. "I'll do everything in my power to save you. But you'll have to reveal the truth to me." "Yes," Emma informs his father about this. "Milo had been pushed from the roof by me." Emma's father also queries her over her former carer. "Yes," she responds. "She had aggressively grabbed my hand. I then pushed her away from the stairs." Finally, Emma's father inquires about Chloe. Emma became incensed over this. "Yes," she shouts angrily. "She made an effort to become my stepmother. So I also murdered her." The full truth had been known to Emma's father. That all the crime scenes are set up by his daughter. He had been overly upset. That the serious offenses are being committed by his younger daughter. Emma promises her father that she won't behave in such a way going forward. However, Emma's father was afraid. Officer contacted him the following day. "I want to meet Emma," he says, but her father makes a weak reason, considering that she has a fever. Dad of Emma was very terrified, since they cannot take his daughter. He therefore brought his daughter a long way to the lake cottage. The doorman welcomes them. The officer gets in touch with Emma's father once more that day. He also informs him that the building did not start burning on its own. However, someone had lit the structure on fire. For his own protection, Emma's father had also kept a rifle at home. And he was considering the possibility of using this pistol to end the situation at any moment. Then Emma turns on all of the house's stoves. Therefore, the gasoline could kill her father. She locks all of the doors before leaving the house herself. At the same time, Emma's father smells the gasoline and begins to stir. He swiftly opens all of the doors and windows. He observes his daughter leaving the house. Then he learned that his daughter had tried to murder him. He approaches his daughter and inquires as to why she done this. In a fit of wrath, she declares, "If you pass away, I'll stay with my best aunt." She is brought back into the house by her father in such comfort. And at night, he gives her an intoxicating substance hidden in chocolate. The next scene shows Emma standing in front of her father. She pulls a revolver from her bag and discharges it at her father. However, this bullet enters a pillow rather than her father. When her father finally awakens, he remarks, "How are you waking up so far? Emma claims that you infused the hallucinogenic substance into my cocoa. I thus substituted my chocolate." Emma wanted to shoot her father with the gun, but he simultaneously grabs it away from her. Emma made an immediate 911 call. And then she enters a bathroom to conceal. After contacting, she informs. Her dad wants to have her killed. After hearing the gunshot, their guard had also moved toward the area. After arriving, he checks to see if Emma is concealed in the restroom. And his father is there, standing with his rifle pointed at her. Guard desired to save Emma. In the meantime, Emma's father shoots himself to death rather than shooting his daughter. Emma observes that her father shot himself in the face with the gun while she was watching. Emma's aunt appears in the movie at the conclusion, who arrived to transport her. She envelopes her. Your father, who was making those remarks, had a mental illness, the woman claims. You killed everyone. What a possibility. It was implied that Emma's aunt had had a strong opinion of her. The movie ends with this scene. This is how the movie ends. For such an interesting movie explanation, please subscribe to my channel and activate the bell next to it. Also, if you like this video, don't forget to like and comment. Thanks for watching. See you later in the video.